So it is now 7 p.m. and I'd like to call to order the September 18th, 2018 business meeting of the Board of Trustees of the Aldine Independent School District. And now I'll call on Dr. Kim Booker to read our ethics statement.
The board has adopted an ethics statement that affirms our commitment to ethical conduct. The statement is, the Board of Trustees is committed to and shall perform its duties ethically and according to our core beliefs. We will model the highest standards of conduct. We will ensure that no personal value, system, or personal goal interferes with our duty as public servants. The public interest shall be the principle which guides the board in its deliberations and decisions.
Thank you, Dr. Booker. We extend a warm welcome to everyone present, and we're pleased that you joined us tonight as we celebrate the achievement, we review information, and we make policy decisions related to the effective operation of the Aldine School District. I would like to thank everyone for taking the time out of your busy schedule to join us tonight. And let the minutes reflect that the board members that are present, all are present except Patricia Bourgeois and Paul Shanklin and Rose Avalos. And I see that we have visitors in the audience tonight, and if you have comments to the board and have not filled out the audience participation form in the brochure next to the agenda books outside, please do so at this time and give it to Ms. Lorea, and the board will listen under item 15 on the agenda, open forum for patrons desiring to be heard. Item 5 on the agenda is approval of the minutes of our previous meetings. Do we have a motion?
I move that the minutes of the regular meeting and executive session on August 21st, 2018 be approved as printed.
Garcia seconds.
Okay, we'll begin the vote with Dr. Kim Booker.
Booker, yes.
Esparza, yes.
Meade, yes.
Garcia, yes.
And the motion carries. And now we will have the tax rate adoption of the tax rate for the 2018 calendar year. So we will adjourn. We'll adjourn into our regular board meeting, and the meeting for the adoption of the tax rate for the 2018 calendar year is now open.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone assembled, Mr. Meade, Dr. Goffney, Dr. Chapa, and members of the board. I have several items to discuss. In accordance with Section 44.004 of the Texas Education Code, we have to conduct a budget and proposed tax rate hearing, and that hearing took place on June 12th of 2018. Proper notification of that hearing was posted and advertised in the newspaper, and the hearing was open for public comments. There are also copies of the June tax notice on the front table if anyone would like a copy. At the June board meeting, the board was presented with the proposed budget, which was $573,354,736 for the 2018-19 school year. This represents an overall decrease of $49,297,408 from the 2017-18 budget. The board adopted the proposed budget. At that June meeting also, a proposed tax rate hearing was held. And tonight, we would like to set the 2018 tax rate for the Aldine Independent School District. I have placed in front of you a statement of the 2018 appraisal roll. This statement includes the total certified and uncertified appraised value of all property, and that amount is $20,214,535,057. And the taxable certified and uncertified value of all property is $17,256,185,952. In order for the district to maintain and oversee the public schools in the Aldine Independent School District, to pay outstanding bonds in the succeeding year, and any other lawful purposes, it is necessary for the district to set a tax rate. I am proposing that the board set the tax rate of 0.2825 cents for the interest and sinking fund and $1.153388 for the maintenance and operation fund for the 2018 tax year. This rate is 6.25 cents higher than our current tax rate and is a total tax rate of $1.43.5. 4.25 cents of the tax rate increase is due to the additional debt payments that were approved by the Aldine voters in November 2015. The additional 2 cents for the Maintenance and Operation Fund is due to the increased expenditures as a result of the federally declared disaster Hurricane Harvey. The 2-cent increase to the Maintenance and Operation Fund is for the 2018-19 school year only. In June, each board member was given a copy of that notice, and it also appeared in the Houston Chronicle and the Northeast News. The notice indicated these proposed tax rates. Does the board have any additional questions about our taxable value or the tax rates that I am recommending?
Board members, are there any questions?
If you have no questions, then I would like to recommend, Mr. Meade, that the board approve the resolution and ordinance fixing and levying school district ad valorem taxes and approve the certified tax roll.
Board members, you've heard the recommendations. Do we have a motion?
Mr. Meade, I move we adopt a total tax rate of $1.435888 for the 2018 tax year, which consists of 0.2825 cents for the interest and sinking fund and $1.153388 for maintenance and operations.
Okay, thank you. And do I have a second?
Esparza, second.
Then we'll begin the vote with Dr. Garcia.
Garcia, yes.
Bourgeois, yes.
Meade, yes.
Esparza, yes.
Booker, yes.
Okay.
Okay, then. Okay.
The adoption of the 2018 tax rate satisfies the requirements, Mr. Meade, that are set out in Section 44.004 of the Texas Education Code. Members of the board, this concludes my part of the meeting of the Board of Trustees for the purpose of discussing the budget and the 2018 tax rate.
Okay, and let me say that the motion passed, and at this time we also have Ms. Patricia Bourgeois with us as well. We will now adjourn the meeting to adopt the 2000 tax rate. It is now 7:08.
Thank you.
And at this time, we'll have our academic report by Dr. Sarah Tomey.
In case anybody else arrives. Good evening, President Meade, Dr. Gott, Dr. Chapa, and members of the board. On Sunday, August 12th, the Carver Jazz Band program received a $3,500 scholarship from the City of Houston Mayor's Scholarship Fund. A jazz brunch was held at the Hobby Center where the students were honored by the Houston jazz community. The Aldine High School drumline was invited to perform for the I've practiced this all afternoon, the Camp Gladiator Stadium Takeover event on Saturday, August 25th at Minute Maid Park. Over 10,000 people attended the event. The Camp Gladiator Stadium Takeover event was held across the country, from Houston to Chicago to Los Angeles. Aldine High School was joined by Stovall Middle School, their drumline, and the Aldine High School Vaqueras. The students drummed for about 4 hours straight, cheering people on as they finished the event. And many students take the advanced placement AP classes to acquire both college and high school credit. College credit is typically granted to students receiving a 3 on the AP exam. In addition, many students receive other distinctions. An AP scholar receives scores of 3 or higher on 3 AP exams. In 2018, Aldine had 43 AP scholars. Many of these were students who were juniors, so they are back this year, and several of them are here tonight. I'd like to introduce them to you.
Please do so.
So let's start with Eisenhower High School. We have students and their parents. We have Amina Abdal-Jamil, and she's here with, is your dad with you? No? Okay. And Abigail Eilers. Oh, sorry. And Todd Lindemann, their principal. Okay. Where's your dad or your mom or both? Parents, if you're in the audience and your student is up here, please come up and be recognized. This is not just your students. Okay, and y'all just stop right there. So those are from Eisenhower. These are the students from MacArthur.
Can we call the Eisenhower students' names out, please?
Yes, the Eisenhower students' names are Amina Abdal-Jamil and also Abigail Eilers.
Okay.
Y'all need to smile. Our AP scholars from MacArthur include Grecia Calderon, Miss Calderon, Alyssa Davila, and I know her parents are here, Perla and Albert Davila. We all know Perla. Carmen Gonzalez, Jordan Menendez, Rudy Ramirez, Angela Rocha, and Daniel Viramondes. Daniel? So these are our AP scholars, and they're back as seniors. How many of y'all are taking AP exams this year as well? Yeah, rack up those hours. Congratulations. Okay. Is somebody taking pictures? Oh, okay, yeah.
Sir, would you prefer if we take each school and take a picture separate with each school?
Might be really nice.
It'd make for a smaller picture maybe, a better close-up of the kids. And that way we could keep up with them each year as well.
All right, so for MacArthur, step this way so that Eisenhower can have center stage.
There we go. There we go, each one.
Okay, gotcha. You stand right there for right now. All right. We've got a power program going on at MAC.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. All right, MacArthur, take center stage. And Miss Tack, you just stand right there. All right, some people need to move into the front, probably the shorter people.
Shorter people up front.
Multiple rows.
If you're too short, you're not going to be seen on the back side there.
That's a great idea. Mom in front, son in the back. Perfect idea. Fantastic.
Your son's
Family portrait.
Your son's would have
He's done that before.
Well, is there some on the right side that I don't think they're going to be seen?
She's going to see right here. You're going to look at the camera.
If you can see her, she can see you. Now she's going to stand on a chair.
Mom, I think.
Breathe in.
1, 2, 3, smile. 1, 2, 3, smile.
Nice.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And we also have an AP scholar from Nimitz High School, Miss Abigail Tack. Yeah.
Thank you for coming. Gracias. Yes. You can go back to your seats.
Nice.
Or you're done, whichever.
There she is.
Did y'all have distinctions?
Abigail gets center stage all by herself. This is wonderful. Look at here, huh?
Congratulations,
In addition, an AP Scholar with honors received a score of 3.25 on all AP exams taken, an average score, and a 3 or higher on 4 or more exams. In 2018, Aldine had 6 AP Scholars, and I believe 2 of them are with us tonight. And I think they're standing right behind me. They're also from MacArthur. And I know Clay's mother's here. Clay, where's your mother? Clay, where's your mom? Please. I know she's here. We have Clay Hatcher and Axel Trujillo, both from MacArthur High School. Is your mom with you or your dad? Come on up.
Awesome.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Very sweet.
Beautiful.
That's sweet.
Congratulations.
And an AP Scholar with distinction received an average score of at least 3.5 on all AP exams taken and a 3 or higher on 5 or more AP exams. In 2018, Aldine, in fact, MacArthur High School, had 3 AP Scholars with distinctions. 2 of those students are here tonight. And Francisco Portillo, and I see some moms coming up.
Wonderful young men.
Yeah.
Yes.
These kids put in a lot of hard work. And we also had one national AP Scholar. But she's off at Harvard at this point, and that's Denise Cordova Carrizales. This concludes the academic report for September 2018.
Thank you, Sarah.
Sure. Thank you. Congratulations. So what classes are you taking this year?
Go
get them. Get those credits. Good job, you guys.
I'm very proud of you. Consider teaching.
Congratulations. Awesome.
Teachers.
I love it. You feel?
Keep it up, okay?
And now for correspondence, Mrs. Sparks, did we have any correspondence to be read tonight?
Mr. President, we have no correspondence to be read tonight.
Then we will turn the program over to Abel Garza, the recognition of staff, students, and patrons.
Thank you, Mr. Mead, Dr. Goffrey, Dr. Chapa, and members of the board. First, I get the pleasure of calling up and recognizing our incredible performers, beautiful performers that were here this evening, the Drew Academy Badger Dance Company. Ladies, will you please step up?
Congratulations, ladies.
Congratulations. Beautiful performance.
Bring back here. She's coming. You want to give us their names? Come here.
Hello, everyone. My name is Crystal Willis. I'm the dance instructor at Drew Academy, and our awesome dancers did an amazing job. Give them a hand clap. These are some of our 8th graders. We have Skylar Gallo, Shamaria Gregory, Anaya McDuffie, Mia Smith, and Aria Jack.
They can dance in front of 100 people, but they're so shy right now. It's amazing. Thank you all. Next, we will start with our employee recognitions. First, Dana Sheffield, Executive Director of Child Nutrition Services, will announce her Team of the Month. Dana.
Good evening, President Meade, Dr. Goffney, Dr. Chapa. Child Nutrition proudly announces its Team of the Month for August, Blanson CTE High School. This child nutrition team has performed with amazing effort, ownership, and service. Opening any new cafeteria is a mammoth task, but moving into a high school that has an enormous kitchen, lots of equipment, spaces, and multiple serving stations is quite daunting. Manager Lisa Hicks, wave Lisa, and her staff worked for 2 weeks prior to the start of school so everything could be operating and in place to provide food and service on August 20th. Observations of child nutrition staff, and in fact I spent the first few days of school there. Observations of child nutrition staff include visible organization, great pride, and a spirit of service. Each one is confident about their individual assignments and commonly support each other with any priority or need. Serving stations are ready on time with a bounty of food selections for students as they make their choices. 4 of the staff serve as cashiers and provide individual attention to each student. Congratulations to this outstanding and amazing team. Manager, again, is Lisa Hicks. Lead specialist is Amy Reynoso. Specialists include Tawnetta Allen, Clarissa Ball, Denise Frank, Bridget Gafford, Maria Gonzalez, Magdalena Gonzalez Cruz, Roxana Hernandez, Ermelinda Marino, Sylvia Quintanilla, and Dominique Rogers. Supervisor for Blanton CT High School is Eugene Bryant. Child Nutrition would also like to recognize Principal Mr. Ibarra and his entire staff for their outstanding support and enthusiasm. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Congratulations again.
Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm coming.
They have no burns on their forearms, so that's how you know they're done.
Mr. B just promised to buy my lunch, Ed.
From our Transportation Department, Dr. Jill Metcalf is here to recognize the Transportation Department's Employee of the Month.
Good evening, Board President Meade. Mario Williams works with me. Excellent. Good evening, Board President Meade, Dr. Goffney, Dr. Chapa, members of the board. We're here tonight to recognize, we had 3 Employees of the Month this month. It's a unique month for us. But we recently had an incident on the west side of the district. Ms. Pam Wilson, you come on up. She works on the west side of the district. And Cynthia O'Gwyn is not with us tonight, neither is Regina Pruitt. But these ladies were instrumental in assisting one of the kiddos in the district, one of the kiddos in the community. Ms. Pam was able to recognize that a young lady was being followed by a man who had no business following this female. And she identified that the girl was in trouble. She radioed for some help. Another bus was able to come around past her as she was following the guy. And then the other bus was able to say, hey, come on, get on the bus. I got you taken care of. And so we just want to commend her and say thank you so much for everything that you do for the department.
Story.
Sorry, Milo, you have to follow that. So, next, Ermilo Ortiz, Executive Director of Buildings and Properties, will present the Building of the Month.
All right, well, no problem. Following that was a great story. Love to hear that. So, good evening, Mr. Meade, Dr. Goffney, Dr. Chapa, members of the board, and all in attendance. It is indeed my pleasure to be with you this evening to present our Building of the Month. I would like to introduce Martha Leal, Leo Valencia, and Cheryl Davis, principal of Dunn Elementary. I would like for them to join me at the podium. Now, Dunn Elementary has been around since 1986, and they've been developing young minds for a long time. But maintaining Dunn's expectations for excellence is our head custodian, Miss Martha Leal. Martha's team provides a clean and inviting climate for all to excel. Martha's staff embraces teamwork while instilling a sense of pride at Dunn Elementary for all students, staff, and the community. And that community also includes Dunn supporting a Memorial Hermann Clinic, which operates right behind for this community. So Miss Martha has worked as a custodian in Aldine for 6 years, with 4 of those years as a head custodian. So we want to thank Miss Leal, Mr. Leo Valencia, one of our custodians there, and Miss Davis, of course, the principal, for their leadership. So on behalf of Buildings and Property, it is my pleasure to present to Dunn Elementary the Building of the Month Award for September. Congratulations on a job well done.
Thank you. And now Stacy Smith, Director of Special Programs, will present a number of one grant that the district received this past month.
Thank you, Abel. Okay. Good evening, President Meade and board members, Dr. Goffney, Dr. Chapa, administrative leadership, and ladies and gentlemen. I'm pleased to report on recent grant awards. Will Dr. Charlotte Davis, Director of Guidance, Counseling, and At-Risk Students, please come forward?
I think she's outside.
She's outside. She's on her way. No, you're fine. You're fine. You're fine. Okay. Cool, honest, intelligent, clear-headed, keen, energetic, and not interested in drugs, also known as Chicken, the Chicken Club. It focuses on every 4th grader in Aldine ISD, so that's a little over 4,500 students. The Chicken Club was founded by the Optimist International, and for over 25 years, they have sponsored this program in Aldine ISD to help students not only to be drug-free, but to practice safety and to also support anti-bullying. So you'll also recognize them. You'll see them in their gold shirts. Each week, I think they have a shirt day for Chicken Club as well. The Aldine Noon Optimist Club has donated $5,000 to help the Chicken Club program this year in Aldine ISD. So if Mr. Meade, would you come join us? And the total for this evening is $5,000. Thank you.
Our program tonight is presented by Deborah Johnson, Program Director of Secondary Social Studies. Deborah.
Good evening, President Meade, Dr. Goffney, Dr. Chapa, and board members. I'd like to thank you for giving me this opportunity tonight to come here and talk about one of my favorite topics, National History Day. For more than 25 years, Aldine has participated in the National History Day program. In September, students began researching topics by visiting libraries, historical sites, museums, and conducting oral history interviews. Students compete at campus, district, and regional competitions, with the winners advancing to the state competition. In May, over 80 students from Aldine competed at the Texas History Day competition held at the University of Texas. The top entries at the state level are then invited to the national competition. This year, Texas sent 36 projects to National History Day, with 9 of those projects coming from Aldine ISD. Wow. Each year, nearly 3,000 students with their families and teachers gather at the University of Maryland for a week-long competition. In June, 23 students from Aldine represented Aldine and Texas at the competition. We had a group website from Grantham Academy, a historical paper from Eisenhower, an individual website from MacArthur, a group website from Carver High School, a group website from Nimitz High School. We swept that category, by the way, if anyone's counting. We had a group documentary from Nimitz, an individual documentary from Nimitz, an individual performance from Nimitz, and finally, a senior group exhibit from Nimitz. And those students are here tonight, so I'd like to ask Ray, Abby, and Angelo to come forward, please. These students were part of a group of 5 who worked in the exhibit category. Group member Isaiah Thomas is not here tonight. He's at the University of Texas. And Hector Torres is attending Texas A&M. These students competed with approximately 100 projects in their category from students all over the country. They were the only project from Texas who placed, and they placed 3rd in the nation. Wow. Very cool. I've asked the students to share a few words about their project, what they have learned from National History Day, and a very special experience they had this year while at National. So I'm going to stop talking, turn it over to the real experts in the STAR. I think Ray is going to.
Okay. Good evening, Dr. Goffney, President Meade, and Dr. Chapa, and members of the board. My name is Ray, and every year for History Fair, there's a theme that you research and find a topic about. Last year, it was conflict and compromise. So our group researched the Chamizal dispute, which was a border dispute between the USA and Mexico along the El Paso Ciudad Juarez border. So what happened was the river moved because of flooding and rain, and so it was in a floodplain, which moved the river southwards, which gave the USA more land. But due to the movement, Mexico thought that, well, that was our land at the beginning, so it should still be our land. But USA was thinking that because it's on our side of the river, and it's on our side of the river, so it's our, and so it was a 100-year dispute, and President Kennedy thought that this is something that is important because of the Cold War and there being communism that might spread into Mexico, that we should resolve this. Unfortunately, he passed away, so President Johnson was able to resolve the dispute. And so this was a very, very monumental compromise between the two nations, because it showed that countries are able to come to a peaceful compromise and don't have to result in war, even though they are two very close nations and two powerful nations.
Good job.
Good evening, my name is Angelo, and I personally have done History Fair for 5 years. This will be, my 5th or 6th. I lost count. I started in 6th grade, and we've been competing since then. And History Fair has really opened up a lot of opportunities for me and helped me to improve on my research skills and interview skills, allowed me to learn from history. And last year, we made it to state, and we got 1st in our category, which is exhibit. And we went to nationals and made 3rd place, where we also got to.
Hello, I'm Abigail. And while we were at nationals, we were chosen by the state of Texas to represent our state at the American History Smithsonian. So we had to take our board and set it up in the Smithsonian where we would stand and we talked to like representatives and teachers and just people who came into the museum. And we were also given the opportunity to see exhibits that they had not put on display yet in the back. And it was a really neat experience to talk to people from other states and see what other people had to say and how like our topic impacted a lot of people because a lot of people didn't know about it. So it was cool to teach people something they didn't know.
And the project that they took to nationals is out in the hallway. So I would encourage you, if you haven't had a chance to take a look at it, to stop by and take a look. And I'd just like to say that these students are from Nimitz, and just to kind of put in perspective how successful our students are and how successful Nimitz is, Nimitz has had more national winners than most states have had. Wow. So, you know, we kind of get used to winning, but we forget that this is, you know, it's a great accomplishment, and we're so proud of what the students have done. We would invite our school board members and the community to come out to our Aldine Regional Competition, which will be held on February 8th this year. And I believe this concludes our presentation tonight. We have the principal of Nimitz High School is with us, and Mr. John Blasco, one of their sponsors. If you guys would come up and take pictures with the kiddos. Oh, and Ray's mom is here. Where is she? Oh, right here. Okay. Oh, look. Here.
Congratulations again. Y'all did a wonderful job.
Great job, as always. Mr. Mead, that completes my report.
Okay, thank you, Abel. Well, the board has had the consent agenda items in their possession for study, and we discussed them at length last night in the study session. Is there anyone who wishes to speak to the consent agenda item to be voted on by the board tonight? If not, do I hear a motion regarding the consent agenda?
Mr. Mead, I move that all items under A through J, with the exception of G2, on the consent agenda be approved as printed.
And do I have a second?
Esparza, second.
Okay, then we'll begin the vote with Dr. Viola Garcia.
Garcia, yes.
Bourgeois, yes.
Mead, yes.
Esparza, yes.
Booker, yes.
And the motion carries. And now we'll come to the report of the administrative staff, and I'm sure our superintendent has a few things to say about promotions and appointments.
Thank you, Board President Mead. To our Board of Trustees, we have two leaders from the Special Ed Department to acknowledge tonight. The first one is Ms. Misty Babineau. Ms. Babineau began her career in Aldine ISD as a special education teacher at Orange Grove Elementary. She served as an in-home parent trainer. She served as an assessment specialist. She's currently serving in that role at Inahosa Pre-K Center. Her new position, and I'm very thrilled because Special Education Department is one that I hold dear to my heart and appreciate the hard work that you guys do each day. But she'll be serving as a program director of special education, and we thank you so much for your 10 years of experience in Aldine, and we look forward to your leadership in the Special Education Department. Congratulations to Ms. Misty Babineau.
Oh, yes. I do have my father, my mother, my husband, and my executive director that's with us supporting special ed.
And we commemorate the special occasion by taking a picture because we want you to remember your family as you're working for our Aldine family. Yes. And so please come up, family. Congratulations.
again.
Next, we'll have Ms. Rebecca McBride. Mrs. McBride has 14 years of experience in Aldine ISD. Her career began also as a special education teacher at Olson Elementary. She served as a diagnostician and assessment specialist at several different campuses. She's currently the assessment specialist at Gray Elementary. However, she earned this role and she'll be the program director of special education. So we are excited and thrilled for your appointment to this position. We're looking forward to your leadership. So congratulations, Ms. Rebecca McBride.
I have my mother, my daughter Maggie, my husband John, and our executive director Catherine.
Okay.
Seals.
So,
come on up.
Oh, she's cute. Oh, that's young. She's beautiful. I love the bow.
Congratulations, Mama. Congratulations again.
Mr. Meade, that concludes our announcements.
Okay. Then we're going to talk about the approval of the final recommendations for the health benefits, and the chair recognizes Dr. David Vieiro, Director of Benefits.
Good evening, Mr. Meade, Dr. Goffney, and Dr. Chapa. I would like to introduce Mr. Jamie Schottel. Mr. Schottel is the Academic Assessment Data Specialist or Testing Coordinator at Nimitz 9. Mr. Schottel is joined tonight by other members of the Benefits Advisory Committee that I'd like to recognize. So if you are a member of the Benefits Advisory Committee, could you please stand up? Anybody?
They're with their family.
Okay, well, we have two members of the Benefits Advisory Committee right here.
Good evening, Mr. Meade, Dr. Goffney, and Dr. Avalos, and members of the board. The overall goal of the Benefits Advisory Committee is to ensure that Aldine ISD is offering the most stable and comprehensive benefits package possible to its employees. Tonight, I would like to make recommendations on behalf of the Benefits Advisory Committee. This committee is composed of employees from every school and auxiliary location in Aldine. We, the Benefits Advisory Committee, would like to make the following recommendations. One, remain self-funded and continue using Aetna as our medical provider. Two, implement ReadyMed, a telemedicine provider, to reduce the number of unnecessary emergency room visits and increase employees' access and convenience for non-emergency issues. Three, implement an additional $250 emergency room copay to the Open Access Select Plan, which would be waived if the employee is admitted to the hospital. Four, remove the existing Kelsey Care HMO plan while retaining the Memorial Hermann ACO and Open Access Select plans. Five, retain the voluntary plan designs and vendors. Six, retain the same 2018 employee and employer contributions for the 2019 benefit plan year, with the exception of the YMCA Health Club and dental plans. Finally, seven, provide employees access to their health fund balance until December 31st, 2019.
Mr. Meade, Dr. Goffney, Dr. Chapa, and members of the board, I would like to recommend that we approve the recommendations as proposed by Mr. Schottel.
Board members, you've heard the Benefits Advisory Committee's recommendation. Do we have a motion?
Mr. Meade, I move that the board approve the final recommendation for health benefits as presented by the Benefits Advisory Committee.
And do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, then we'll begin the vote with Dr. Kim Booker.
Booker, yes.
Esparza, yes.
Meade, yes.
Bourgeois, yes.
Garcia, yes.
And the motion carries.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, and I think it's appropriate, Mr. Meade, that the committee members, or the two of you, pass on to the committee members the important role that they've played. This is a very complex issue that the district considers, and so we appreciate your support and your work. But please thank the committee members as well.
Thank you. Thank you. Board committee reports. Ms. Bourgeois, do we have any board policy revisions or updates?
We do not have any revisions or policy updates at this time.
Okay, then on item 15, I don't see that we have any people that we wish to speak tonight. So the portion for patrons desiring to be heard, we won't have that. So do we have a motion to adjourn?
I move that we adjourn.
Okay, we have Connie, and do I have a second?
A second.
Okay, the time is now 7:46, and thank all of y'all for being here with us tonight.